Creative Chat Cafe. This is our pilot show in 2014, and I am super excited. So grab a mug with your favorite beverage or even a drink. I won't tell. While I welcome my co-host Kenya Halliburton of KenyaHalliburton.com and Tina Kadish of Live is Ideal. Welcome, ladies! Woohoo!
Hey, thank you. I got my mug ready.
Yeah. Yes. Welcome, everybody. We're so excited. You know, ladies, we're finally rolling, and I'm super excited to have you both as regulars on Creative Chat Cafe, because I know we're in for a blast, right, Kenya, Tina?
Yes, absolutely.
So, Kenya, what are you feeling about this new Creative Chat Cafe?
I love it. And by the way, you know what? Don't feel bad, Zef, because my name is a very long name, and then it's actually my website. So
I'm so sorry because my tongue just couldn't speak tonight. See, I need a little bit more to drink. You know, by the time I get half of the show rolling, it'll be so like, oh, so relaxed. I want to tell you what's in my mug right here. Tina, welcome, Tina. We're so excited to have you because you know you're a new addition to Creative Chat Cafe, and we're so super excited.
Thank you, Zef, and for having me. I'm very excited to be part of the Creative Chat Cafe, and it's exciting. This is all exciting and sharing such great topics.
Yeah. Absolutely. This is great. So, if you are new here and missed our big announcement at our Hangout event yesterday that we went, we put out on social networking sites, we announced at our Hangout event, what's going to be different this time around. That Hangout event was our Grow, Inspiring, Give campaign, and we just wanted to let everybody know where we're going forward into the next few months at Entrepreneurs That SOAR. But one element that we talked about was Creative Chat Cafe. Now, our new spin in Creative Chat Cafe is that this is going a talk show hangout. Yep, and that we want to help small businesses and entrepreneurs get guidance, inspiration, results. Ladies, we love working with small businesses, right? And most importantly, we want to help them soar in a business and life that they all set their mind to, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So awesome, because you know what, you viewers out there, I will be co-hosting the Hangout with a few other co-hosts other than Kenya and Tina here. We have 4 other, regular faces on our shows. We all will rotate, so you won't get bored, right? So we all want to see all the different faces, all the different experts coming on Creative Chat Cafe. I'm going to be that great talk show hangout that, will bring you lots of resources, advice, tips, and discussion. So Kenya, maybe you want to share a little bit more since you've come on board with us, working on Forward. Maybe you want to share a little bit with our viewers because they may be wondering what our talk show this time around. What am I talking about? What our Creative Chat Cafe talk show hangout will be different this time around, and what kind of content we're putting out there. Maybe you'll do the honors of sharing that information with them.
Absolutely, I would love to, Zef. So the Creative Chat Cafe is going to primarily feature some of the following content. We'll mix it up a bit, but these are the categories that we are really focusing on here. Primarily, number 1, marketing. We're going to touch on topics related to business development, which is hot and important. Okay, we all need to develop our businesses as entrepreneurs and small businesses. And leadership, which is huge, okay? Hugely important, right, Tina?
Yes, it is.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And what else are we going to do there? I think, Tina, we're doing something special too, right?
Yes, we'll do different topics, and like tonight we're going to be doing the topic on follow-up and why follow-up is so important. So tonight.
And what about the giving part, Tina?
And then the giving part, yes, we're really about giving to charities, and
we love giving.
Because when you're giving, you will receive, and so giving, and so this is going to be really a focus of ours about the giving to charities. And the charity that we're going to be working on is Kiva.
Yeah, so Kiva is actually a nonprofit organization with a mission to connect people through lending to alleviate poverty, and it's pretty much supporting entrepreneurship, which we'll talk a little bit later in the show. So just like Tina was saying earlier, the topic of the week, is about following up. Ladies, let's talk about one of the most important things, right, in our business, because if we don't do a good job on it, we don't create potential opportunities for making a sale, right? And I know that we're all busy and running around managing our business, but if we don't follow up, we absolutely don't make any money. You agree?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
100%.
It's so easy to not follow up because, especially, when all busy thinking about, oh, what do we have to do next? What products and services do we have to focus on, and people forget that following up is a very important part of doing business.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenya, you and I, we both have, an online business, and we thrive. I think 90%, almost. I think for me, it's almost a 99% working online. Yeah. So one of the most important things, I think, living in such a social media-driven world, following up online can be overwhelming for some people. So let me ask you this. I wanted to ask you how to follow up online, and maybe you can share with our viewers who have an online business. Maybe my first question to you, Kenya, is really, what happens after someone, becomes a subscriber? Because everybody has a website. If they have an online business, right? I mean, we all kind of do. But what really happens after someone becomes a subscriber, Kenya?
Right. So with any business, whether you're online or offline, typically you have two facets that are really important. You have lead generation and you have sales. And so when you're coming from the online world, obviously, like you said, you have the website and you have your lead generation job is to collect emails, to be able to get people to kind of use the currency of their email to be able to follow up with them again and again over the course of time. So, and most people know this, they get this, like you have to build your list. The money is in the list building, that's the big thing, right? So
absolutely.
So
no
once
list, no money.
Right, no list, no money.
Yeah.
No business.
So,
no business.
No business. So the problem here is, you have this opt-in form, you have everything set up, you get the technology, and you start getting people signing up. Then what, right? Because most of the time, just having the opt-in form isn't enough. You have to.
We all know it. We all know it. Yeah.
Right? I mean, you have the emails, and honestly, most people, most businesses, especially entrepreneurs, because they're spread so thin, they really just have a list that's just kind of marinating and not being communicated with, right?
True.
And true. So what happens? Those leads go cold, right?
Very cold.
Very cold. So what we want to do is keep them hot. So what happens after someone signs up to your list? What should you do? You should be communicating with them, continuing to add value, continuing to build on that relationship, help them to recognize you as someone that they need to pay attention to if they want their problems or issues resolved. Right. So basically, what happens after someone signs up? You have to build out in your whatever software you're using. You want to build out a campaign that is, you call it nurturing, a nurturing campaign to add value and periodically promote your products and services and balance that out so that your subscribers are actually, gaining something from you and they're not feeling like you're selling to and pitching to them all the time.
Absolutely. And I think it's almost like your marketing funnel, I think, an email, when you actually have an opt-in form, you kind of need to have like a funnel for your strategy, for your web strategy, your web form strategy. And if you don't have it, then it's going to be tricky because you will lose some of your followers. So
absolutely. Absolutely. That the funnel, we might have to do a whole nother show on the funnel.
That's true. Very true.
But absolutely, the email marketing campaign and understanding the funnel is will really help you in actually building out your follow-up and things when it comes to online.
Very true. Now, let me ask you this: when they're ready to opt-in form, and then we send out the messages. What are some of the things that we should say in our follow-up messages that are getting responses that you've seen, from the subscribers?
It's going to vary from business to business. Depends on what your expertise is, what your funnel looks like. But typically, what you want to do immediately, if you're offering some sort of free content, CD, magazine, audio, whatever that is, you want to make sure that you welcome them to your list. You give them the information that they signed up for, and you kind of tell them what to expect. So that first email that they get should be, welcoming them, giving them the information they asked for, telling them what type of communications they can expect to get from you moving forward. And then, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No problem. And then any emails that you give after that, typically you look for like maybe 4 to 5 value-adding emails. So it's not a rule. It just depends on, what you want to keep in mind what your audience can take. Some people email every day, that kind of thing. But the point is you want to give value. So if you're giving an ebook, a lot of times people, give an ebook, and sometimes people sign up for things and they get busy, right? Yeah. So what I like to tell people is pull out pieces of content from your ebook or from whatever content that they're signing up from and repurpose that into your emails, because a lot of times you have to help people get the information that they need to get because we're all busy.
Very true.
So, use that to fill like 4 or 5 emails, and then when you get to maybe the 6th or 7th email, then going back to your funnel, Zef, then you understand what product you want to lead with, what you want to offer them to help them fulfill whatever it is that you're teaching in that e-guide. So it's a very strategic process, but you're really educating to sell people. You're really giving them value and giving them the information they need to make a buying decision. But you definitely want to add in some sales, some product promotion. Otherwise, it's not going to work for you. People will just be expecting free stuff all the time, right? So
that is so true, because one more thing is just like I always tell people, it's just like it's just like courting, you're dating,
yeah,
you
exactly.
don't only just go out into a car with somebody. First you ask for a phone number, right? Or you just say hello, go out for a drink, right? Then you go in separate cars, and then later you can go in one car and all that stuff. And it's all a process. And I think very importantly, most of our, when we have the opt-in form out there, we're putting out there to a whole big audience where people don't really know us, and the most important part is getting to know them also and allow them to know what we do and what we have to offer. And you're absolutely right about the giving the value, what value do you have to offer. So how often do you send follow-up message, or does it also vary on businesses?
Yeah, it's going to vary from business to business. Again, typically once they sign up, you want to definitely keep that chain going kind of consistently for the first, at least for the first few weeks. You want to you don't want to overwhelm them to the point where they're like, this person is getting on my nerves, I'm going to unsubscribe. But if you're strategic with it, for example, you can send a follow-up message that says, hey, what challenges are you having with XYZ, whatever your field of expertise is? I'd love to hear what you're struggling with. Just hit reply, something very conversational, not making them feel like you're trying to get something out of them. But typically what you're looking at is maybe initially you send maybe an email every 2 to 3 days to follow up, depending on what type of content you're delivering. If it's like an email series, like a e-course or something, it may be daily, like you're dripping out content to them.
Right.
So it's really going to depend on what that free offer is that they signed up for, and how you want to interact with your subscribers. But you definitely want to keep that momentum going at least until you get to that first email. So I would say you would have at least 7 emails set aside when you first, when the people first sign up for your list, that will go out at least maybe over the course of the next 7 weeks, even if you just gave an email once a week. That, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's something you're gonna have to think about and play with to figure out, what will work for your business. So I can't give a definitive answer, but the key is that you want to kind of map that out and test it to see what works for you and your audience.
Absolutely. And, those are really great basic tips. I think those are really, really the basics, of following up online. And I think many of us, especially who have a website, their web strategy, pretty much sometimes they don't think about it too far ahead, and they just put it out there as it goes. And we all do need a web strategy, and it starts with that opt-in form. And let me go to you, Tina, real quick, because I know your business involves a lot of one-on-one, face-to-face communications. Because even though we do live in a social media-driven world, we cannot ever forget that if you actually have a local business, or even a business that allows you to drive 1 to 2 hours within your distance with your clients or customers, these are all opportunities. But let me ask you this, as far as doing in-person follow-ups, how long do you wait to follow up and you've met that person?
I typically wait about 24 hours to 48 hours. I give them an opportunity to digest the information that was presented to them. Mm-hmm. And so that's typically good enough time. Not too long, not too short. But I also, it does also depend on the situation, because I will ask someone, is such and such a date okay for me to contact you?
Yeah, because we all deal with busy people, right?
Right. Yeah. So sometimes 24 hours to 48 hours is not good for them. Mm-hmm. So I will sometimes work with the person as well. But typically the rule is 24 to 48 hours that I wait to call them.
What happens, do you think, if you wait too long and you don't follow up beyond the 24, 48 hours? Just like an online strategy, does it ever get cold?
Yes, and you make a good point, because they will forget you, and you want to stay in front of them. You want to engage with them. You want them to remember you and what you presented to them. So it is important to be right there in front of them so they don't forget you, so it doesn't become cold, as you said, Zef.
Yeah, because it's easy to get cold, especially in the winter.
You still got to keep them hot in the winter.
There you go.
Yes.
So, what do you typically normally say? Because in an online strategy, just like Kenya had said, there's something, depending on the industry or the business, we have certain copy or script that we send out in email campaigns. But for doing an in-person, face-to-face, what do you typically say to the person when you call them as your first follow-up, before you meet them in person?
Okay. Yeah, what I typically say to them is, hi, I enjoyed meeting you the other day, and thank you so much for allowing me to share my my product, my opportunity with you. Did it make sense to you? What did you like best about what I shared with you? I'll ask them some open-ended questions. I'll also say to them, from a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being interested, let's get started today, or 1 definitely not interested, where do you fit on that scale? And so we'll have a dialogue. They'll let me know where they are in that scale. If they're not interested, or let's say they're in the middle, mm-hmm. I will typically ask them, okay, so what would it take to help you to make a decision? Mm-hmm. Because I think a lot of times they don't have enough information for mm-hmm. them to make a decision. Right. So when I'm having that dialogue back and forth, it's probably more information they need that will allow them to, as we say, move forward and close that.
If we were to compare the online end versus the in-person, it's still the same. We all have that different strategy for the face-to-face and online strategy in following up. But just like Kenya was saying, you don't want too much information all at one time in 2-3 days. And then when you meet that person in person, do you normally there's a particular, probably, a step process for you to go through, like a checklist, so that you're not unloading a follow-up, because you've done that probably over the phone, but you want to follow up in a better way and leave them with a better value per se, So how do you manage that in-person session?
Yeah, what I do is, because like you said, I've already discussed the product, the opportunity to them, so they already have enough information. So now it's really following up, okay, what else do you need from me to help you? For example, let's say somebody has a particular issue, whatever the problem is, and I'll say, okay, how much pain are you in at this moment?
That's a good question. The pain question, yeah.
How bad are you feeling right now with that particular challenge? And if I could help you feel better, would you move forward? How are you feeling right now without going forward?
I guess the most important questions, Tina, just like you said, following up is what I've noticed about what you just mentioned is asking the right questions.
Yes, it is. It's asking the right questions, keeping an open-ended questions, having a dialogue. It's a two-way. You want to get to know them, know more what their hot buttons are, where their pain is, and how I can help them solve their problem, whatever it is, because it is about them. It's not about me.
Very true.
It's about that giving that we shared earlier, that you need to have with everybody.
Yes, we love to give hands down on that.
Amen.
But what Tina was saying, asking the right questions, in fact, in the opt-informed strategy or the web strategy, we also need to create emails that actually, ask the right questions. And am I right?
Yep, that ask and answer the right questions. You have to be preemptive with email because you're not getting the opportunity to actually, have conversations with them. So you have to anticipate what questions they might want answered and answer them before, you even have an opportunity to speak with them.
One of the biggest things I think about following up is, like we said, don't let it go cold. Right? Because its time is ticking, right? So we don't let that go cold. That potential client or customer go cold. So those are really great information between the online follow-up and also the in-person follow-up. And I hope all these tips, we all, including me myself, will do a better job at following up and creating that opportunity for our business, because. I think the biggest part of following up also is also getting to know the other person. Yes. One of the things I think we often forget is in that rush of trying to get, trying to offer our value, sometimes we give too much information that people cannot handle. It's just the same with the email. How many emails do we send out? Do we send a mix of personal emails or funny humor emails to just kind of blend a little bit with the value emails? And then in the in-person follow-ups, do we just tell everybody everything on that brochure list or magazine list, and hey, here's everything. And by the end of the conversation, or everybody be like, so we don't want everybody to be like that. So, but that's all great information, and thank you, ladies, for sharing. Now, I know, Kenya, I do want to talk a little bit about tool, because it's very important when we all follow up, right? Sometimes we all use some kind of tool, right? Kenya, do you have a tool that you probably can share with our viewers, that you could share, maybe an image or something that you used in your own business to follow up online?
Yes. So I'll approach this a couple of ways. So number one, I'll just mention some of the tools that are available in case anyone doesn't have one yet. And so Aweber is one that I use, and it's an email marketing software, so it helps you to manage e-newsletters, broadcasts, all of that kind of stuff. GetResponse is another popular one. You have MailChimp is a popular one. Infusionsoft, which actually has the ability to make sales and organize all that fun stuff. So you really want to look for a valuable email marketing software that can help you automate, and because that's what's really going to help you really execute this strategy well, is to get that automation. So the work is really kind of upfront and kind of making sure you're getting the results that you want. But once you set it up, a lot of times it can just run, without you really doing anything, right? So those software tools are important to look at.
Very true.
And then I have, let me see if I can get my screen to show it. Tell me if you can see that.
There you go. Sample email sales funnel. One more time. Drum roll. Here we go. Love it. Right?
Yes, it works. Yeah.
There you go.
So, I love it when technology works.
I know, right? Love it. Just love it.
So this is just kind of a visual representation, and maybe Zef, you may want to add this to the page or something, so people can see this.
Yeah, we'll add it on a blog. Yep.
Okay, that would be great. What this does is just helps you to visually see what's involved in the process of creating the email. So I can show you better than I can tell you.
Right. Right? We all relate with visualization.
Yes.
Yay! 1%.
So usually what you have is you have a squeeze page we talked about a little bit about earlier, where people come and they opt in for whatever free offer you're giving them. And then immediately after that, they're taken to a thank you page. And maybe in that process, you're giving them some sort of opportunity to get a product or a service for a good deal, okay? And so that's that direction. When you go downward from the squeeze page, you're looking at the email process. So as far as the follow-up portion, once they sign up, you send them a welcome email with a link to, either the product or the page where they can get the product, okay? And then the autoresponder series starts. And so this is that pre-created, pre-scheduled series of messages that add value related to the free offer, okay? So you'll send that whatever timeline you decide works best for you. And then at the end of that process, typically you look at by the 6th or 7th email, you're looking to pitch an offer, okay? And then, from there, if they buy, they go onto a customer list. And typically on a customer list, maybe you don't have to follow up as much. Typically it might be a newsletter every week or every other week or once a month, that kind of thing. So that's pretty much the process. I mean, you can go deeper into it, but yeah.
But basically, you mentioned just now, but is there a favorite that you would suggest people start with, something economical, doable, affordable, the tool?
Yeah, as far as the tool goes, I think Aweber and MailChimp are very economical. I think what it will really come down to is what features you need right away, because different plans will allow you to broadcast and maybe won't allow you to do autoresponders at a certain price level. But they're all very economical. But some are more user-friendly than others. So if you are someone who is going to have to manage this yourself, you may want to pick a tool that's not only economical, but it's something that you can, you won't be afraid to touch and actually get the benefit and the results out of it that you need.
That's awesome.
Let me mention it. MailChimp and Aweber are typically the ones that a lot of people go with.
The most basic, which is affordable.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tina, I know when we have to follow up in person, we also have tools, right? Is there a specific tool, maybe your favorite, that you use when you follow up in person?
Yes, I typically have either a CD or a magazine that I share with someone, especially when someone needs more information. This is a tool that I use that I will give to them. And when I meet with them face-to-face, so I meet with them face-to-face and they haven't made a decision, so I will give them a magazine or a CD, and that will also enable me to follow up with them with that 24 to 48 hours that I mentioned earlier, because they will give it back to me and I will ask them, their thoughts about it and what they liked best about the magazine, what did they learn from the magazine or the CD. So those are my favorite tools that that I've used in my business, is a magazine, because a magazine will show them stories, will show them pictures of other people that have been successful. It'll give them information about the product as well to take home with them. So that's very valuable tools. Very simple, nothing too much, because you don't want to lose their attention. You want something that's really easy to read, for them to understand.
I think the most important thing right here, both following up online and following up in person, is you never leave your potential, customer or clients without information.
Right.
Am I right? Because
Yes.
online, the beauty of the online part, Kenya, if you agree with me, is that we have all these email marketing tools that can help us, because we're all busy business owners, right? So, we are the CEOs, the bottle washers sometimes, and we try to do too much, but it's great to have a tool like that that can automate, and that's the beauty of the online following up system, right?
Yes.
And as in following up in person, I think we must always take it into our process seriously, that you never leave your potential client or customer or prospect, tools or valuable information about what we have to offer, our business have to offer, what we can do for them to have maybe make them healthier, happier, more money, and all that stuff. And you're absolutely right. If you have the tools, CDs, brochures, even doodles of information, we need to leave that, because people process. I know for one thing is people process information in 3 different ways: text, audios, and videos. So I'm sure every business, whether you're following up online or you're following up, in person, there are tools that can help us, follow up effectively. So never lose an opportunity. Leave more information so they can make the smart decisions. Agree, ladies?
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
There you go. So, one of the those are really great tools, and thank you for sharing. And the best thing about them, they're doable and affordable. So no more follow-up excuses, right? No more.
No, you have to commit.
All right, so we've actually come to the last segment, and I wanted to kind of share the story. This is usually the last segment of our show, which is the giving segment. And since, I'm a subscriber and a member of kiva.org, and one of the reasons why, and if you, our viewers, were joined us or watched our video from our Hangout event yesterday, I mentioned the reason why, as I've chosen kiva.org to support as the nonprofit organization that we at Entrepreneurs want to support. One of the reasons why is, I'm going to share with you my screen so that if you see this, this is one of the, being an email subscriber to Kiva, they send us, like emails of the members that are getting loans, and this is what inspires me to support Kiva. And in this email it says here, Sabithri was born without working legs and had to learn to carry herself around on her arms at a young age. Despite her physical challenges, she's worked for nearly 10 years alongside her brother, selling rice and kerosene to the families in her village in eastern India. Sabitri's Kiva loan helped her expand their business and increase her average income threefold. She's now using most of her new earnings to build a new home. And she's the example of the people that we at Entrepreneurs that SOAR want to support, because we believe that, as entrepreneurs and business owners, there's always a way, right? There's always a way for us to give back. And one of the easiest way, because we live in such a social media-driven world, it makes it so much easier to tell a story and share a story. Do y'all agree?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Thank you so much. One for them. So, it's just, I wanted to support Kiva because I think, we at Entrepreneurs at SOAR support entrepreneurship, and I believe that if we all take charge of our destiny and we have something to give back, even though we don't have the form of money, we can rally and, support one another and, help other people. And because Kiva is one of the non-profit organizations that does microloan financing, is that it teaches the value of entrepreneurship. I know if you ladies have experienced this, right? So tell me if I'm wrong, but you know, I've experienced where you give people money away, and I'm not saying this for you know, nothing, because this is how I was trained and I was mentored, and I've been told that if you give something away too much all the time, people take for granted because it becomes a give. It's like a hands down, right? They don't work for it. And I think Kiva, by doing the microloan financing, they're teaching these new entrepreneurs, you know, that in order for you to get a loan, you have to work hard so that you can get that money to pay back people who have supported you. What do you think, ladies?
I definitely agree. I think that when you're giving something for free, they don't see the value. When you're giving something away. So I think you're giving to an important cause like Kiva, and you're getting something back like exponentially. I mean, what you're getting back, and you know, by how you're helping them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it, you know, it helps people out there who wants to have a business. They know in order to have their business, they have to work hard, and working hard comes with entrepreneurship, you know, and having this loan gives them the ability to grow their business, just like Sabithri, threefold. I mean, for 10 years, you know, it teaches them some kind of discipline about entrepreneurship. And we all know working hard is part of being an, you know, that's the number one rule in being an entrepreneur. Some, you know, some of us make it, some of us don't. So I'm going to kind of show you how, I have a script on how our viewers out there can actually, you know, join our lending team. And you will also see at the bottom of this video in our blog, you know, the steps of how you can join. There are two ways to join our team. There's a direct link where you can go to, you know, Kiva, go to kiva.org, entrepreneurs.soar, and you will actually get this, this page right here, all right, and that's our direct link, all right, and then you can log in with your Facebook or email account and click on join team again, and you know, this is all the step process you can get at the bottom of our blog. And if you go to the Kiva website, you can go to kiva.org and click community, and this is the kiva.org, and you can click on communities. Where is it? I'll find it. So you know, just this is kiva.org, the primary page, and you can actually go and you know, review all this information, and it only takes $25 to have a loan. And for us, you know, helping people with $25, you know, goes a long way, and that's why we want to do, you know, we want people to join our community so that we can grow and foster the entrepreneurship, the spirit of entrepreneurship. And back to the script right here. So I will have all this information at the bottom of the page, and you know, you will be a part of team. It's free to join, so explore our member list, you know, and join us. And you know, we want to support other entrepreneurs. It could be anywhere throughout the world. So when you join our team, we can all pick together, you know, and see how each business has grown. Isn't that awesome? If people monitor the way we do business, isn't that awesome? We work extra hard because we're like, oh my God, people are watching us, right?
Yes, yes. It's
great
absolutely
cause.
phenomenal.
It's a great cause.
It's a great cause, you know, and I think, you know, sometimes people always say, you know, I don't have money to give, but, you know, you could probably save a couple just to put $25, and then 10 people putting $25 in goes a long way. And in other countries, $25 does go a long, long way, you know, and, you know, you'll never know, it'll come back to us tenfold.
Yes.
So that's the giving part of our show, Credit Chat Cafe. Woohoo! We love to give to help other people with their entrepreneurship. So one of the things I think, ladies, I think we could say to our audience is, if they actually have, you know, come across a nonprofit organization that you think is worth us mentioning on Creative Chat Cafe, wouldn't we want them to send us that information, Kenya?
Yes, please. Please. We are here to help and give.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, we give a little, we get a little, and we're all happy people, right? Absolutely. Woohoo! There you go.
Yes.
So, you know, we're at the end of the show. It's been a great segment, and this is why in yesterday's announcement we mentioned, you know, moving forward at Entrepreneurs at SOAR, we want to harness the power of Google Hangouts. I mean, anybody can do this. You know, they can watch a show and and be a part of a community like ours. And we make better connections. Hey, Kenya and I met through online. We're now working together. Who knew, right?
All the way from Alabama.
There you go, Alabama. Woohoo! And our goal really is about to help you all out there, create businesses and lives that we truly enjoy and we want to get up every morning to work for. Right? Absolutely, ladies.
Yes. Very good. Yes.
So we've come to the end of the segment, and thank you for joining us. Tune in for next week, ladies. Let's raise our mugs. We're gonna go ahead and enjoy and relax, and we'll have everybody join us for next week's Creative Chat Cafe episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Bye, everyone. It's been a blast.